Hello?
Hi.
All right, we finally got it working.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, how's everything going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, good, good. I'm good. Definitely great to have you on the show this evening. I appreciate you for tuning in. I don't know if I know I sent you the first episode of the podcast, but just to give you a little bit of background, I started this podcast actually last month, and it's Dreams by Any Means Motivation Station, and pretty much it's used as a tool to kind of identify people in my circle that I may have met, may have relationships with, but also people that I'm meeting along my journey. You know, you and I connected more just through a business standpoint of me being a consumer and supporting your brand. But I really loved everything that I saw, and I thought you would be a great guest
Well,
on the
thank you.
show. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, yeah, you could just start off kind of just, talking about yourself, where you're from, talking about your brand, what you have going on, and, eat honey skin and everything, and we can jump into the interview.
Okay. Well, I had a question. How'd you find us?
So I found you actually on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, found you through Instagram. And I think it was through my search. So I was just looking at black owned, skincare lines and coming across things like that. So even for myself, I've been looking into I'm starting my own skincare line.
Okay.
And I was looking into that, but also kind of like I was reading a story, kind of similar where, like I have a black dermatologist, one in DC and one in Florida as well. So having like different skin issues and going through different things that affects the black skin. So that's how I kind of came across you all. But also for me, it's like I buy a lot of stuff. If it's from clothes, skincare, whatever.
Right.
I was like, let me do the research and really identify, black owned brands, and came
Right.
across the presentations you all have, and I was really impressed. And I have the skin oil as well as the rose water, so it's been working really well.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually consult for people that want to go into the beauty industry and skincare industry.
Oh,
So
perfect.
yeah, so
Perfect.
you
That's
can
perfect.
definitely we can discuss if you need help with anything. I'll definitely be a resource for you.
Absolutely.
So let me go into, I guess, the basic background history. So I'm Erika Clark. I'm the CEO and founder of eHoney Skin. I did research in skin of color in undergrad at Hampton University. And then after that, I wanted to go to medical school, but I wasn't ready to apply immediately. So I went to work for a dermatologist for about a year and a half. And while doing that, I had before doing that, I had all type of skin issues. I was breaking out. I was having hyperpigmentation, dry skin, eczema. So I was trying to figure out natural and, organic ways to treat it. And I found that honey was a really good ingredient. To help. It's a humectant, so it draws moisture from the air. It's antibacterial, antiseptic. So it does all these great things, and I didn't have a lot of products on the market that I could use, or I didn't seem to be able to find them. So I was like, oh my gosh, I should just make my own. So I
Yeah.
started making things in the kitchen, just playing around. And then I realized, I really want to make this more scientifically backed.
Yeah.
So working with dermatologists, I learned a little bit more about that process. We're working with labs and things like that. And then I decided I want to go into the beauty industry instead of medical school.
That's okay. Nice.
So
That's good.
yeah.
And so you're from DC, correct?
Well, yeah, I'm from Maryland,
From
PG
Maryland.
County.
Okay. Yeah, that stood out as well. I noticed you were from the area, so I definitely wanted to support.
I know, that's so
Um,
cool.
yeah, even more. But I know that from what we talked and just following the brand online, you're now based in LA, correct?
Yes, so I just moved out to LA about 3 months ago, in
Oh,
December.
nice.
Yeah, so I've been out here a couple of times. I did BeautyCon LA twice. Did different pop-up events, networking with influencers and things like that. So after Kylie Jenner had shouted us out, we started working on some collaborations out
Okay.
here. So I was like, this is the perfect time for me to kind of transition the brand to be on the West Coast. It was going to
Right.
be either New York or LA. And I honestly just love LA a little bit more. The warm weather, the mountains, the
You can't beat
beach.
it.
Yeah, and then exactly, you cannot beat it. And then the influencers, obviously, and all the celebrities and collaborations that are available out here and resources. So
Mhm.
that's what brought us here.
Yeah, and I wanted to kind of hear more about talk about that transition of going from it could have been easy, I'm sure, staying at home in PG County, starting a business, running a business from there. But talk about what kind of drove you, beyond from having the partnerships, but to kind of get out of your comfort zone and go to LA?
That's a really good question. It took me a long time because, as I said, I visited LA at least 5 or 6 times. I came out here first on my 24th birthday, and then my 25th birthday and 26th birthday, back to back to back, all throughout my 20s. So I'm about to turn
Yeah.
30 in a couple of
Hmm.
months. Not even a couple of months, in like 48 days. I'm doing a countdown. My
Okay.
30th birthday. So, I
Nice.
mean, I'm very close with my family, and you know how we are in the DMV. Everybody in the DMV is like we all know each other.
Yeah.
Everyone from the HBCUs and stuff are in like DC, and it's a very warming like Black community, a lot of successful Black people. So it was very comfortable. And then just being so close to my family, I think it was hard for me to admit that I actually was very afraid to move out
Yeah.
here. And then I kept thinking like money. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so expensive in California. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to afford it, because a lot of people don't know, but you have to work while you're building a brand. It's not one
Right.
of those things that you just, I mean, we have, you hear all these success stories with the venture capitalists, and all these brands like startups are getting millions in funding, and then they just, become overnight successes. But that's not always the case, especially with Black owned businesses.
Yeah, especially with us. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
different.
So
It's a different type boat we got to
yeah,
row.
it's getting better though, the resources and opportunities for Black businesses. But if you didn't go to Harvard or these big business programs, you might not know the way
Hmm.
that they go about it with getting the funding and all that. So to make a long story short, I thought it was gonna be too expensive and this and that, and I just was afraid like to leave my family and be on the West Coast by myself and all that. But
Yeah.
the last year or so, and honestly, COVID made me, I think COVID was an awakening. So COVID happened, and everything was shut down. It was locked up in the house in March. And I just did a lot of like reflecting and thinking and working on the brand. And then the Black Lives Matter movement, started happening a little bit more aggressively with all the
Hmm.
supporting Black brands and buying Black. And we got an amazing, overwhelmingly amount of support. And I think that kind of inspired me more to take the leap. And I was like, you know what, the time is now. Like COVID
Yeah.
can be a setback, or it can be something that propels you forward. And it actually has been like a blessing in disguise. So I kind of just pushed past that fear and was like, nothing's holding you back but yourself. So just go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. And that's kind of, with myself, the year of COVID. I mean, when it first started last year, it just had me just looking into entrepreneurship more. Even with the podcast, like I don't think any of these kind of leaps that I'm taking, when it comes to like ownership and kind of starting my own thing, it wouldn't have happened if COVID wouldn't have happened. Because COVID, like you said, allows us to kind of sit back and really see things for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
When you just on the go, working, coming home, going to the gym, maybe going on a couple of vacations, you could kind of get comfortable.
Yes.
And
And you're so
yeah,
busy that you're not paying attention to, how fast time is flying.
yeah,
So.
absolutely. And something you said stuck out to me just thinking about, you know, when you think about PG County, you think about the entire DMV. Like you said, it's in a great area. It's a good place for young Black professional networking. But when you think about, what DMV mainly has to offer, it's more of, it's the political piece that's attached to it, where
Oh,
you get a
yes.
lot of young people who are running for office and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about getting funders and being in a city like LA, talk about, since been there, what are some of the successes you've had and what have been some of the challenges? Because I know from me from the outside looking in, I have some friends in LA. I know it's that type of go get it city, entrepreneurship city. So talk about some of the wins you've had there, some of the challenges.
So honestly, everything's been shut down in LA. It's slowly
Mm-hmm.
starting to open back up. So that has been a challenge that I think I was naive to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, I'm going to come out here and just hit the floor running, but everything was closed unexpectedly. And because, in LA, the numbers were so bad the last couple of
Right.
months. So everything has been digital. I kind of already knew that, but you kind of don't know what to expect 100%. We're trying to reach out to people and get through to people. So it's just completely like working digitally. Like even with my products and things, they're still based in Maryland. So they're being shipped out from Maryland. So I'm doing
Okay.
a lot of like the behind the scenes stuff on the computer and things like that, and connecting and networking through the computer. So it is hard. It's a lot of Zoom phone calls, meetings, phone calls, and just everything digitally. It's not anything in person right now. And a lot of
Okay.
people are, uncomfortable and nervous about that. So I think things are going to get better as things open up. We're going to do more like creative work. So photo shoots, campaigns, a lot of high quality visuals, and videos.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been a blessing in disguise, COVID and the whole, Black owned businesses, the movement, the networking, and just, my resources have expanded since being out here. So I will say that. And like there are a lot of opportunities. It just everything is digital right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It
it's
is.
hard. It's hard socially. You're
Right.
trying to network and be social and expand, your network and your resources, but it's just you can't really get a feel for people or build a relationship over the phone or over Zoom or over computer. You just kind of have to try to make it work.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. That was the biggest challenge for me. Used to,
Yeah.
going to in-person networking events, finding events on
Right.
Eventbrite. I was doing all of that, like, in Miami. Then once COVID hit, it was like, I'm like, come on, like, it's
I
just
know.
everything
It's
Zoom.
just so like not personable. But I guess it's the gift of time though, because you don't have the time to go out. I mean, not the time to go out, but the ability to go out. It's giving you the gift of time. So it's like you
Yeah,
can literally accomplish like 2 years worth of work in 6 months, I think, because you don't have a lot of other distractions.
absolutely. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah, even because I know even myself, I've been able to focus more. Like my friends, we've been focusing more on health stuff, working out. We were actually talking about it today. Like, imagine if we weren't remote. Like, how would we? Like, we've been doing this 2 a day workout thing, eating and all this stuff. But it's like if we were in the office, it would be much more difficult.
No, for sure. Yeah, you'd be sitting down all day.
hmm Yeah, no, for sure. And I was doing some, research just on you on your website, and I know it talked about, what you kind of said during your junior year. You had the opportunity to volunteer, at Hampton,
Hmm.
and wanted to kind of know, like, how would you say that experience kind of shaped you and your entrepreneur mindset? Just pretty much to say that I think sometimes people are trying to figure out, oh, how do I start something, or how do I get my foot in the door? But it seems like, you got your foot in the door by really participating with the institute, which kind of gave you, the skills to be able to like effectively research this stuff, and now it's tied into your
Right.
business.
Well, so I actually didn't have any interest in volunteering or anything like that. I was just seeking out
Mhm.
different opportunities that would look good on my resume
Yeah,
for
yeah,
medical school. And because, when you're 18, 19, 20, you're still trying to figure it out. You're just trying to make your family
right,
proud and do something good. And you think you're chasing a dream. But to be honest, when you're 18, 19, 20, you don't really even know 100% what your dream is. But I always had like an entrepreneurial spirit. I always, like my friends in college, I always would ask them, y'all want to sell things? Y'all want to try to create things and sell it? You want to do a blog? You want to get on YouTube? Things like that. And now I regret it because I'm like, wow, you should have gone on YouTube in 2010 instead of
yeah,
2014, 2015. So I always had that entrepreneur spirit, but I was book smart. So I was focused on studying and, passing my tests and then going on to try to get more degrees was my goal. So I wanted basically just, make my resume look good. So I had got the opportunity to volunteer, and I was like, wow, this is an amazing opportunity. Hopefully it turns into a paid job, like, because you're kind of broke in college. So I'm like, hopefully it turns into a summer job or a paid internship to help me get through school. And that's exactly what happened. And then
mm,
while doing it, I realized, wow, I love this. Like, I can't believe I actually got so blessed to get an opportunity to volunteer doing something for free. And then I love doing it. And then they're offering me
right,
money after I fall in love with it. So
hmm
I really just got blessed in that part of it. But doing the research and doing the experience, that was more so the scientific side. It wasn't really the business side. I think being an entrepreneur just has to be in you. Like
yeah,
everyone can't everyone can't be the boss. Um, and our generation, everyone's pushing that. Like, oh, you should start your own business, start your own business. Everyone on Instagram is trying to push start your own business, start your own business. But it's really hard.
yeah.
Um, and people kind of glamorize it, and sometimes I'm at fault for glamorizing it too. Like I make it look so much more exciting than it might really be.
Yeah, but I think you hit it on the head, earlier where you just said, you have to work while you're building your brand and building your business. 'Cause I think sometimes people take the, oh, be your own boss and own everything. It's like just quit your job and,
Yeah.
start something. But, like you said, a lot of these success stories, I tell people this all the time, especially for us, we Black folk, but like other people sometimes, and not saying everyone's like this, but they may have had, $500,000 waiting for them and like, hey, go do what you want to do with it. So
Right.
that's not
Right. That's
everyone's
not a
story.
lot of
So
people's
yeah.
story. It's like really from if you say made it from 0 to 100 million or whatever, there's no way possible. That's not how it works. You have to
Right.
invest into your business. You have to have a business plan. You have to have a marketing budget. You have to have an inventory. Like it's a lot that goes into it that people don't see, and a lot of sacrifices that are made. And so as far as me falling into my passion and the scientific part and the dermatology part, that was a blessing. The business side, I had to
Hmm.
teach myself everything. Google
Yeah.
University, literally. I didn't have a mentor or anything like that. The mentor was more on the scientific side, so that's what taught me, about product development and what's good for your skin and the benefits of different natural and organic ingredients. But the business side, I just is like you gotta Google and research and follow the people that you want to be your mentors and kind of go that route if you don't go to business school. But now all the resources and stuff that's out there, it's like I'm like, wow, I wish I would have known some of these things before I got started because it's kind of pretty basic. It's just you got to put in that time and that work, and you got to work while you're building because otherwise it takes money to make money.
Right.
So that's
Exactly.
really the
Yeah.
key that people don't, I think, put into consideration.
Yeah. Yeah. And just speaking of like what you just kind of said, working while you're doing everything. I wanted to ask, how important has your network been, and not just in regards to, expanding the brand, but just in regards to just running a business. Like you said, everyone can't be the boss. So the people who aren't the boss, but they are playing those important roles, under you, just talk about how important that has been for you.
That's been extremely important. I mean, sometimes people can help you that, not even sometimes, a lot of times. So it's a
Yeah.
combination. It's God and it's, like you say, your network. Because
Yeah.
people, it's not necessarily you don't have to pay. People will take your money if you're willing to pay them, but you can also
Right.
collaborate and do creative things and cross each other's communities, and then you're building and you're helping each other win that way. So the network definitely plays a factor when you have limited resources because so one person might work at in style or something, and she can introduce you to an editor that can get you into the magazine, and then that's free press. So that's an example just
Yeah.
for like the beauty industry. But and then same with like investors or things like that. If you have a friend who works with investors, she can introduce you, and then you're not just cold emailing or cold calling. You have a direct person putting you in contact with who you need to take you to the next level. So network is extremely important, and building relationships that are like genuine.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I agree. And I think like you just I'm just thinking about the network, of course during COVID it's different, but I think, you're in a town where, whenever whenever stuff gets back to normal, you'll be able to really tap into, like a different type of network. Because LA is like, I mean, I have a lot of friends that have moved out there, and kind of your experience where you say you
Mm-hmm.
visited a lot. I have a lot of friends that have visited and they, fell in love with it. I only been there like I went up there for a
Mm-hmm.
night one time. I was in Vegas and I went to see my cousin, but I had my one friend And he's like, man, if you love Miami, you love South Florida. He's like, bro, if you go to LA, he's like, you're gonna fall
I
in love
know
with
it's
it.
so hard because I love Miami too. Oh my gosh, I go to Miami all the time. I feel like that's my second home.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with him because Miami,
yeah.
yeah,
South
South
Florida's
Florida is
different.
different.
It's
I
a
actually
different
think I
vibe.
might want to move there after I leave LA. Too.
Yeah, no, it's a different
Yeah,
vibe.
I
Like
love
it's
Miami, but LA, you get
yeah,
mixed reviews. I'm not from here, so I don't want to speak too much on it. Some people say that they get,
yeah,
it's very like people are using like users, and everyone is asking you, what do you do? What do you do? Um,
yeah, because it's a go getter
yeah,
type
so
city.
it's
Yeah,
mixed reviews. Some people I know hate it, and other people I know love it. So, but as far as depending on what you're here for and what you're here to do, like you said, if you're here and your industry's here, that's what you have to focus on because you got like unlimited amount of opportunities. Yeah, so
yeah,
that's
no,
how I feel
absolutely,
for sure. I'm like DC is great, it's home, but it's not going to take me to that next level. Because I don't,
right.
I mean, of
Yeah,
course, I'm a black owned business for life, but I don't want to be known as just a black owned brand. I want to be known as a household brand. Um,
exactly. Yeah, you
right.
want to
So
target
I
right.
want to put on for my people, of course, but I don't want to stay in that small box.
Hmm. Yeah, no, and that's interesting because I think sometimes we kind of get caught up in just like kind of setting a limit for ourselves alone. And I think I look at like just your story of leaving the DMV going to LA. It's like home is always going to be there before you even probably come up with the amazing marketing plan, amazing products. You already kind of got a support system there
Hmm.
in that area. So I think what you're doing is going out to expand it in a powerful city like LA. It's not going to do anything but help you continue to
Yeah,
build that
thank
brand.
you. I feel the same way. I've been getting a lot of support, and I appreciate it so much. For everyone that believes in
Yeah.
me, and just like you, like you're a complete stranger. You found us, but you believe, and you're
Yeah.
interested, and like you said, you want to start your own thing because you're passionate about it now.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm big on, presentation. And I think that was like the thing that I like, just from the Instagram page, the information, the YouTube. And one thing I like, that you all do is like I have screenshots from your page like in my in my phone, like to kind of help me, keep up with my routine. And it's just that I just like that you all provide the
Oh,
educational
that's so
piece
cool. Yeah.
just instead of like, hey, our product does this, our product does that. But it's like, I'll see you all post things about, the skin turns over on this day or this many days due to age. So like for me, it helps me like, okay, I need to get a facial this many times instead of this many times due
Right.
to my
Hmm.
age. So it's stuff like that that I think is key because I think sometimes we don't talk about a lot of that. And I think with the natural road that you take, you said something about, a lot of the stuff is in your
Hmm.
kitchen. And I know for me, I've noticed that with like, sometimes people will say, hey, you have nice skin. And it's like, I'm like, it's not that I have like $100 product, but it may be like, I drink water, I drink green tea, I eat my
Hmm.
vegetables,
For
I eat
sure.
fruit. And yeah, and those are the small things that I think, plays a role. So I definitely love that about your brand. It kind of goes into my next question, just to really want to know, in an industry such as skincare, which a lot of people are doing, and especially now the vegan, the natural thing is taking over. What would you say has kind of been your competitive advantage, in this lane so far?
I think my brand story is my competitive
Mm-hmm.
advantage. Just the fact that no one has my story, no one has my passion. It's not made up. It's not like something that just is put together just so that I could say, I have some consumer goods. So I just got to put together a story to put out there. It's real
Yeah.
and it's deep and it's like passion rooted. And so everything I say is backed by, actual real research and real data. And obviously the brand is Honey, Erika and Honey. So that I'll never let up on honey being the most important part. And there are more brands on the market and more products on the market with honey in them now, obviously. But I still feel I have a competitive advantage because of the story and the brand, being backed by honey and skin of color research and products for all skin tones. So that's really my competitive advantage above all else.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. And that's what I say, I read your bio. That definitely has stuck out to me, and yeah, I think that's great. So this time I definitely want you to have the opportunity to kind of talk about some of the products that you all offer. What are some of the most popular ones? How it's selling? Just kind of pitch to people and tell them. And I vouch for the skin oil, the glow skin oil, as well as the rose water. But I know you have other products, so if you want to take this time to kind of tell the people about what you all
Of
offer,
course.
that would be great.
So we have a cleansing scrub. It's a honey-based exfoliating scrub. It's a physical exfoliant, but it's extremely gentle for all skin tones. It has honey, jojoba seed oil, vanilla, all natural green tea preservatives. And then we have the glow oil, like you said, is your favorite. It's a serum, a moisturizer, and an oil all packed in one. It's argan oil, 100% organic, which is packed with vitamin E. Protects your skin against types of free radical damage and the sunlight. It acts kind of like as a natural SPF almost. And then
Okay.
we have the rose water, like you said, you like as well. It's like a toner, face mist. You can use it kind of just to refresh yourself. You can use it in the morning to wipe off that
Right.
dirt from the night before. You can use it to set your makeup if you're a female. It just has multi-purpose. And
Yeah.
then we have the balancing moisturizer. It's perfect for all skin tones, all skin textures. It's like a creamy texture, but it's very lightweight. It's called balancing moisturizer because it balances out that oily and dryness. So if you have combination skin, it's great for you. If you have super dry skin, it brings back that moisture. And then if you have oily skin, it balances out that overproduction of oil. And then,
Got it. Okay.
so we have the men's products too. The men's scrub is basically the same thing as the Goddess Glow exfoliating scrub. It's just packaged in black packaging for men, kind of just aesthetic purposes, but it's the same exact product.
Yeah.
Oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I see the
So the
oil.
beard oil has been very popular because, a lot of guys have beards right now. And I noticed, especially in the Black
Yeah.
community, a lot of Black men are trying to grow their beards. So I wanted to launch something for them.
Yeah, I need to order that next. I got different beard oils. My beard is grown, but I'm still a little, slight
Yeah,
chunky
we'll
beard,
get you.
so
We'll
I need
get
to
you
order
some.
that.
We'll get you some as a gift for being on the podcast.
Yeah, I gotta order that. But I noticed, one thing with your products and even the oil that I ordered. Like I said, I have a black my dermatologist. She's black. She actually's from the DMV. I'll send you her information. She's based down
Okay.
in Coral Springs, Florida. But she is a fan and she preaches about the importance of
Yes, I
argan
love
oil.
argan oil so much.
Yeah, and I noticed that is in a lot of your products. So I'm just saying that just for me, just doing my own research and talking to different people in the field. That definitely stuck out to me because one day she did a video just talking about different oils that are specifically good for skin, but especially black skin. And she was, always really
Oh,
supporting
that's
that. So
amazing. Yeah, I gotta get her contact info, but for sure, that's obviously where my passion came from, just seeing so many different dermatologists of color and seeing the movements they was making in the industry and just trying to teach people about skin of color and how it's so extremely different. So
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And so last question, kind of want to bring it home. What's next for E Honey Skin? I know right now the pandemic is kind of slowing some things down, but what is some things that we can look out for? Is there a new product about to come out? Partnerships, all in one?
Yes.
Kind of talk about
So
that.
it's a lot to come actually. As I said, like my 30th birthday is
Okay.
coming up. So I've been doing a lot of reflecting and trying to think about what I want for my 30th birthday. And I decided I really want to kind of invest more into not rebranding, but kind of cleaning up our brand, kind of like getting a little bit more high quality content. I know you said you love our content, you love our page, and I
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much because that's actually funny. I was talking about that today, how I kind of wanted to edit some things with that, but I kind of want to just clean it up a little bit and rebrand that a little bit. But we're gonna be launching an SPF product, so that will be our next product. It will be
Okay.
SPF. Most likely, it will be like an oil with SPF in it. So that's pretty exclusive information. And then collaborations, like I said, we're working on 2 really big collaborations with 2 celebrities. So that will be that'll be
Nice.
upcoming, obviously, because
Nice.
I'm in LA. That's what I'm here for. And then
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, those are the main 2. And then just high quality visuals was like my goal for 2021. A lot of, videos.
Okay.
And just high quality images, because that's what people love to see. And then a SPF product is like my most important launch to come.
Okay. No, absolutely. That's what's up. And I agree with you just say, just a high quality video. Because even with the podcast, we have 2 episodes live so far. But the second one I was able to actually record with one of my friends in Miami. And I noticed like just posting a preview of the episode, like we have way more, people that tuned into the podcast just in a matter of like 24 hours compared to the first episode. So that was some feedback I got from a friend. Actually, he was saying, I noticed that you posted a podcast. He was like, but just try to add more visual in it. He
I
was like,
know.
that
I
catches
wish we
people's
could have did
attention more.
something together. Well, maybe we can do next time something on video.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. I'm gonna say we could definitely continue, because I think I would love to see your brand grow. And the purpose, like I said, of this station, it's Dreams by Any Means Motivation Station. It's something you said earlier about God, and he said something about putting in the work. That's what when the podcast is over, I always end it. It's the outro, which says faith plus hustle equals success. And that's something that I live by, and something I've been living by, is that you can have faith and you have the favor from God, and whoever you believe in, the world could work in your way, but you also got to have the hustle
Yes, for sure.
plus that,
God will
to
meet
kind
you
of
if
get
you
that
meet
success.
him.
Yeah, because I was talking to a mentor about it the other day, and he was saying that sometimes we sit back and we say we're waiting on God, and it's like, yeah, you can wait on him, but
Yeah,
you
you
got to
have
show up
to. You
too.
got to meet him halfway, and he will show you beyond your wildest dreams. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. But no, I definitely thank you for taking the time today. Coming on the show. This was definitely great. Like you said, we can definitely continue this conversation. Look forward to
Yes,
having you
thank
back
you
on the
for
show.
having me.
Yeah, look forward to continuing following the brand. And if you could just leave the people with, your website, Instagram, Twitter handles, where they can notify you so they can support you and
Absolutely.
purchase some of your
So we're
products.
on Instagram at ehoneyskin. So this EHONEYSKIN. And then we're on Twitter at ehoneyskin. Same thing. And the website is www.ehoneyskin.com.
Okay, there it is. So appreciate you today, Erika. Good luck with everything, and look forward to
Thank you so
continuing watching you and your
much.
brand grow.
All right.
All right.